Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Morning Brews. My name is Ryan Smelts, and today I titled this episode, Wear the Same Outfit Every Day. I'm going to dive deeper into our interview with Frank of Crayons Ready to Eat on the Veteran Talk Show, as well as the second portion, which will eventually air on the Business and Brew Show as well. Number two, Steve Jobs, and number three, simplicity. So, one of the reasons why I titled this Wear the Same Outfit Every Day is because, like I talked about on, I believe, Tuesday's episode, is Frank has the same outfit, and he doesn't have to waste one of his decisions on what he's going to wear that day. So that's one of the reasons. One of the other reasons is because everything you do should follow along the same path. So, for example, if you live in the United States and you commute, say, 30 minutes to and from work every day, most people are not going to try to take the scenic route. Most people are not going to vary their route that much on a day-to-day basis. However, if you do, or if you have, and maybe there's reasons for it. Maybe on the mornings you get coffee, you go one way, and on the mornings you don't, you go another way. That's just an example. But I don't think that you should be varying your route that much. I know as a veteran, we have been trained to a certain extent to make sure that we change up our route. And that could be a little bit of a habit. However, the reason I bring that up is because if you drive to work and you change your route all the time, then you have to make a decision which way you're going to go. And so the reason I use the coffee as an example is because if you wake up and you go one way for coffee and another way when you don't get coffee, then that is a decision you have to use. So they talk about in some of the YouTube videos I listen to on Be Inspired, for example, the morning motivation playlist, that your brain can only handle a certain number of decisions throughout the day. There's another podcast, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I'll do my best to put it in the show notes. He talks about it as well. I think it's Tom Bellew or one of the other ones. If your brain can only make so many decisions in a single day, you're a business owner and someone comes to you with a really big decision, maybe you have to pause, maybe you have to think on it, whatever the case may be. And I'm not asking you to be able to make those decisions quickly. I'm not asking you to make the wrong decision because I think that you should go ahead and pull the trigger. I'm saying that if, say, you're limited to, we'll say, 3 decisions a day, okay? This is just an example, but say you cannot make any more than 3 decisions in a single day. If you wake up and you have to choose what to wear, how you're getting to work, and whether or not you get coffee, you're done by the time you show up to the office. Okay. So if you wear the same thing every day, you drive the same route every day, and you make your coffee at home, you just saved yourself 3 decisions for more important matters. So that's the reason I wanted to talk about this today, is I think it's super important for us to focus on the things that matter and the things that don't. For example, in the previous episode, when I talked about me making breakfast one day a week and putting the rest into containers in the refrigerator, so all I have to do is wake up and pop one in the microwave. I think that not only saves a bunch of time, so I feel it makes me more efficient, but it also eliminates a decision because I am going to have whatever I prepared at the beginning of the week for breakfast. And for those of you who like variety, I suggest you buy some hot sauce, because variety is for people who want to, how do I put it? Spend their 24 hours differently. For me personally, I want to get as much done as possible with the amount of time that I have. We all have the same amount of time. Instead of me choosing something different to eat every single day, I am not a very picky eater, and I find happiness in some of the most simple foods. Macaroni and cheese, for example, is my favorite food. So why waste the decision on what I'm going to eat for breakfast, lunch, or dinner when I could just have what's in front of me and use my decisions for other matters? For example, when my guys come to me and they say, "Oh, I'm not feeling too well. I think maybe I want to head home. Is that okay?" Yeah, head home. So under this, I have the interview with Frank uh, of Crayons Ready to Eat. We did have him on the Veteran Talk Show. I think if you haven't uh, seen or heard that episode, um, it should be coming out the next couple of weeks, and the second part of it is all about his business. So the first part is all about his career in the Marine Corps, and the second part is all about him and his business and how he came up with it, and how he's been hard charging to make sure they get all kinds of certificates and certifications and basically blessed off so that they can ship. So be sure to check him out. I put Steve Jobs as number 2 because he's a prime example of always wearing the same outfit every single day. That's what he did. He always had on the same jeans and sweater or long sleeve shirt. So I would definitely recommend Steve Jobs the book. It's it goes into a lot more detail on what he was like and kind of what was going on inside of his brain, and I think that's part of what his thought process was behind always wearing the exact same outfit. And then lastly, I put simplicity. So where you are doing these things to prepare, for example, cooking all of your breakfast for the week and throwing it in the refrigerator, or wearing the same thing every single day, I think provides a lot of simplicity to your life, and it makes things easier. So now you're saving time, you're saving those decisions for more important decisions, and you're able to focus on the things that matter. This segment, Morning Brews, is a prime example because I sit down and record all the episodes, or as many episodes as I can at one time. And so I'm able to plan them out, hit record, schedule them on all the platforms, and the rest of the time I can spend making copy and creative for social media. Uh, Hopefully here soon we will be picking up on our email marketing, but I can spend the rest of my time, uh, for example, I do war stories as well. So before, where I would do an hour a week recording Morning Brews, now I spend 2 hours a week doing Morning Brews and war stories, which is on the Veteran Talk Show. So I think that level of simplicity, if you're not having to decide what to wear and you're not having to spend that extra time making breakfast or your meals because you meal prep at the beginning of the week, could be super advantageous. Hopefully, I have helped you simplify your life, free up some time, or free up some decisions. If I have, then be sure to leave us a 5-star review. And Tell your friends to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you subscribe so you can get notified of all of our new episodes. If you have not heard it yet, the Business and Brews Show title episode just came out on Monday. We talked with Nick Foster of Foster Security Group. It was a phenomenal interview. And if you don't want to listen to the podcast, you can watch the podcast on Spotify. I highly recommend you watch it because his camera pan is phenomenal. It is amazing. So check out Nick of Foster Security Group on the Business and Brews Show. My name is Ryan Smeltz. This is Morning Brews, and I'll see you next week.